When asked about his own mental health at the White House today, here's what Donald Trump said.
What is your response to critics who say that...
I don't care about critics.
What is your response to critics who say that it is your mental health that should perhaps be examined as this war continues?
I haven't heard that. But if that's the case, you're going to have more people like me, because our country was being ripped off on trade, on everything, for many years until I came along.
Of course, he has heard that. He's heard that about his mental health for 11 years on this program. MS Now medical analyst Dr. Vin Gupta, who says he has not examined, obviously, Donald Trump and is not attempting to officially diagnose him, described what we all are witnessing this way, quote, erratic, can't finish sentences, often confused, illogical train of thought, word-finding difficulties, developing and worsening gradually over time. The president is exhibiting all the signs of dementia. Congresswoman Chellie Pingree of Maine posted this. The president spent Easter on social media threatening to bomb another country's power plants and bridges, openly talking about committing war crimes like he's live posting a sporting event. This man has the nuclear codes. The cabinet and Congress must confront the obvious. Time for the 25th Amendment. And then, of course, there's Marjorie Taylor Greene's assessment of her old friend, Donald Trump. Quote, he has gone insane. Joining us now is Congresswoman Chellie Pingree of Maine. She's a member of the House Appropriations Committee and the Agriculture Committee. Congresswoman, thank you very much for joining us tonight. So first of all, when did you discover what Donald Trump said yesterday morning? Where were you? What was your reaction reading that?
I think I was waking up, getting ready for my family to come visit for an Easter dinner, reading the, social media like everyone else, and just in a deep state of shock, but also, what's the surprise? This is what this man does every day. He disgusts us, he frightens us, and he shows that he's not competent to be the president, which is what so many people are saying every day, including our former colleague, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
How many of your constituents even actually know about the 25th Amendment?
Well, they all seem to know about it now because people seem to be talking about it and tweeting about it. I mean, I hear more often about impeachment, but I think this is a moment, as you were quoting MTG, you're all complicit if you don't do something about this. So it's a way of saying, as you've talked about, the cabinet is complicit if they don't do something about this. They're around him every day. They probably know much more about his confused mental state than any of us in Congress do. You have my colleague on, Chris, who was talking about, members of the military need to speak up. Certainly Congress has to speak up and fight back. And the cabinet has to fight back. Congress has attempted a couple of versions of impeachment, were immediately, tabled by the Republicans, and it makes them complicit too if they don't speak up. For a while, people, I think, were saying, hey, this is how the president is. It's locker room talk. You'd hear Republicans say, I like his policies. I don't always like the way he behaves. But now I hear more and more people saying to me, how much of the world is he changing in a way we can never get back? They're worried about climate change. They're worried about his economic policies, destroying the social safety net, our healthcare system, our system of feeding people. And now they're worried that he's gone, and started another war when he promised he wouldn't, that he was going to be the president who ended these endless wars. And he's got the nuclear codes. And he gives these unhinged arguments every single day that change the strategy. Even if you're not a military expert, you hear one day, oh, everything's going to be fine. You hear another day, he's going to bomb them all to smithereens. And it's deeply troubling. Americans, whether you pay a lot of attention to politics or not, whether you're Republican or Democrat, they have a deep sense of what's decent, what's normal, what should be allowable in our culture, and, how a president should act. And even though we've been normalizing some of these things by the behavior continuing, I just find more and more people they're frightened, they're angry, and they want to know when it's going to end.
Maine Congresswoman Chellie Pingree, thank you very much for joining our coverage tonight.
Thank you.